Right guys, it's the morning after Liverpool beat Napoli by 2-0, and I just don't know what to think of Liverpool at the moment. I mean, it wasn't an amazing performance by any means last night from Liverpool, but it's just how you don't know what to expect from one game to the next. Like in Liverpool's past 5 games, they've beaten the 2 best teams in Europe now in Manchester City and Napoli at the moment. Probably PSG as well, probably deserve to go in that bracket, and maybe Real Madrid. But 2 of the best teams in Europe anyway. And also lost to relegation candidates, Leeds United and Nottingham Forest. So it's bizarre. But yeah, Liverpool, it wasn't an important game by any means last night, unless Liverpool were going to win 4 or 5-0. It was just a bit of a nothing game. We were always going to finish second in the group, I think, and Napoli, they looked like they would have taken a 0-0 draw, to be honest. They still had their attacking moments. Kvaratskhelia whipped in a really good cross for Ostergaard for a headed goal from a free kick, but it got disallowed. And on the replay, I didn't see it at the time because I was at the stadium, it was just about offside. They do have good offside technology, to be fair, in the Champions League. They need that in the Premier League next season. And yeah, the Kvaratskhelia also had a chance himself on a volley, but didn't connect with it properly. It was a bit of a stop-starty game. There were quite a few injuries throughout the game. James Milner was injured in the first half and came off about 10 seconds into the second half. And Victor Osimhen also had quite a few comings together with Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate as well. Yeah, Napoli, yeah, they didn't go all out attack like I have seen them this season. They weren't committing as many men forward. And Dombele and Zambo Anguissa in midfield, they weren't looking to help the forward players. It was more just try and make sure we don't concede was the sort of thing. But the problem there is Napoli are a side who their game is all about scoring goals. They're not a team who do sit back and try and protect leads. Their game is try and outscore your opponents. That's why they've scored 50 goals already this season and conceded 15 as well. So yeah, Liverpool though, they were definitely the better side, deserved the win. But at the same time, there weren't that many clear-cut chances, I don't think, until the end of the game when Nunez had his header saved, Salah poked in the rebound, and similar thing with Van Dijk and Nunez for Nunez's goal. But the VAR did still take quite a bit of time on both big decisions, on Ostergaard's disallowed goal and Nunez's second goal right at the end of the game, 98th minute I think it was. But yeah, both these teams are through, and I can see both teams going quite deep. I think Napoli are a really good side, and I think European football is suiting Liverpool a lot more in the style that Liverpool are currently playing. Because I think the bonus of European football for Liverpool is that it allows Liverpool's game to be played a bit better. Like Liverpool play a strange way. It's like a combination of the 2 ways Liverpool have played over the past few years right now. It's a lot more possession-based than it was at the start of Klopp's reign, but I wouldn't say it's as possession-based as it was maybe a couple of years ago. So it's a strange way, but the European games as well also seem to suit Thiago in midfield a lot more, because I always think when it's a Premier League game, I don't feel 100% comfortable when we've got Thiago in midfield, because his game is all about controlling the tempo and slowing things down a bit and making sure we keep the ball. Like, you'll rarely see Thiago lose the ball, but sometimes the Premier League is just too fast paced for him, like it was at the weekend when Liverpool played Leeds. Like when he's got Brendan Aronson and Jack Harrison and all these other, you know, high pressing players for Leeds who were just all like covering loads of ground and putting pressure on him constantly. That's not suited to his game. So European games do suit Thiago a lot more. For Liverpool though, they had Konate back in defence, and for me he's got to start from now on. Even though his passing and his distribution at times last night was a bit questionable, I just thought whenever you see whether it be Politano, Osimhen or Kvaratskhelia get on the ball, and if they get past Trent, say, or the midfield, he just shrugs them off the ball with like such ease. Like no one can get past him really. He's just that big, that powerful, that quick, and yeah, so that's a massive plus for Liverpool having him back. I mean, I like Joe Gomez, but I think Konate's a level up on Joe Gomez with all respect. And yeah, Curtis Jones was playing sort of wide left, and it didn't really suit him. I didn't think he's much more suited to playing centrally. I mean, he's not bad on the left, but he hasn't got the pace required to make like these runs that Liverpool are so used to having Sadio Mane or Luis Diaz or even Diogo Jota make on the left hand side. And when Darwin Núñez replaced him after about 65 minutes, it made such a difference just because of the pace that Núñez has, and that meant that the midfield had an option who was going to have to stay out wide on the left, because Jones sort of has to come inside and do what the midfield are already doing. So it's a bit congested in midfield when you've got Jones playing on the left. I think I'd much rather see him play centrally from now on. And yeah, the only real negative is that Liverpool, I don't know the extent of the injury, but James Milner going off at the start of the second half, because Milner, first half, was absolutely brilliant. I always like having James Milner in a big European game at Anfield, because he's the one player on the pitch who, you know, right from the off, he's going to put the challenge in. He's going to let the opponents know that he's not to be messed around with. Like we've seen him do it with many players in the champion, like opposition players, most notably probably Neymar back in 2018. So yeah, I like having James Milner in midfield in Champions League games. It's a similar situation to Thiago. Like Milner is probably hasn't got quite got the turn of pace that he used to have, and it can get his age sort of can get found out a little bit when he's playing in midfield in the Premier League. He can still very much do a job at right back in the Premier League, but when he's playing midfield, when the ball gets turned over, he sometimes struggles to you know, get around the pitch as much as he used to be able to. But he's still got the energy, but just not quite the pace anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, Champions League games, again, they suit him more. And I just think Europe, Liverpool are much more suited to playing in Europe right now, because it's just the pace of play more than anything that suits them. But yeah, both teams I think will go far in this competition. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.